শুভেচ্ছা স্বাগত সবাইকে চলতে চলতে অনুষ্ঠানে আপনাদের সঙ্গে আছেন মাহফুজ মিশি এবং আজকে আমাদের অতিথি ঢাকায় ডেনমার্কের রাষ্ট্রদূত হ্যানে ফুগল এস্কেজার অ্যাম্বাসেডর মোস্ট ওয়েলকাম টু আওয়ার শো হাউ আর ইউ
very much very good
when we proposed your office to make this show why you preferred this place why you are in Dhamrai that is my first question.
First of all, I think Dam Rai is a very beautiful city, out of many beautiful cities in Bangladesh. And secondly, I think this is the cultural center of Bangladesh, a place that many Bangladeshis could be very proud of. Here, for many generations, you have been exporting metal art craft to the whole region. And today there are very few craftsmen left who can do this beautiful special technique of the lost wax technique. And they're all here in Dam Rai. And so we're in one of these places where the craftsmen are still doing the beautiful metal art craft that I think most Bangladesh could be very proud of.
So you have a special love for this craftsman or for this industry, and my question is why? Is there any background behind this?
Art is, I think, the key word. I think art is a bridge builder across cultures, across different countries. And I grew up with art in my family. My mother is an art teacher and has been that for my whole life. So I've been doing art myself, not very
so you are
professionally.
An artist?
No, not at all. But I've been working and I know about art and I've met a lot of artists. So when I found this place, I really felt there was a connection between Denmark and Bangladesh, that we have this love for art, but also a strong tradition for art.
So this art is a kind of symbol between friendship between Bangladesh and Denmark?
Yes, and actually we have been in a close partnership with the Dam Rai metal art, where we are now.
Yeah.
We've been doing several workshops together with artists here in Dam Rai. My mother has come as an art instructor, and actually right here we have been doing a wax sculpture workshop with women who survived Rana Plaza, with orphans from Rana Plaza.
Yeah.
By creating sculptures themselves, they move from being victims to being creators. They have been creating the sculptures here and they've sold them for very good money. And with that money, they are now able to set up their own sewing workshop where they will be able to export to Europe. So I think through art, you empower women, and we have done that right here in partnership between Bangladesh and Denmark.
So sometimes art could be the way of diplomacy.
I think
and you
so.
have shown it here in Dhaka.
I really think so.
Yeah.
I think art is a language that goes, even you can't speak together. The two of us, we have a common language in English. But if we did art together, if we looked at art,
we can communicate.
We can communicate and understand each other.
So you are a career diplomat, and before then you were a teacher. Why you shift your profession? Why you became a diplomat? It was your target or it was your aim?
Well, both my parents are teachers.
Yeah.
So I grew up in a home of teachers, and my parents' friends were teachers. I've never really been teaching myself. I went to, after I finished school, I went to university. And I didn't know I wanted to become a diplomat as such, but I knew from the beginning that I wanted to work in different cultures, with people speaking different languages, knowing about different countries. I've been traveling my whole childhood with my family. They have been so kind to take me and my brother around traveling a lot. So from the early childhood, I knew that working internationally would be a passion and something I really, really liked.
And you are very much lucky that you can do this. So you are in Bangladesh for how many years, and what's your experience here?
I've been in Bangladesh for almost 3 years now.
3 years.
And I'm here with my husband and our 2 children, and we very much enjoy our life. I love my profession here, but also my life as a person, as a mother. I think it's a great honor to live here and get to know many Bangladeshis. We've been traveling around in the country a lot.
How many districts already you have traveled?
I don't count them. I count the memories and the people I meet. And I have been north, east, south, north, I really try to go everywhere. Not just me as an ambassador. I try to take my children because I think it's so important that they don't think that Bangladesh is Dhaka or Gulshan, but it is something much more. And I remember one of the first trips that we took outside of Dhaka after we've been here for a few weeks. And we were stuck in traffic, and my little son, who was 7 at that time, he said, "Oh, Mom, I love Bangladesh. It's so full of colors. I love all the colors."
Wow.
Because he saw the rickshaws and the saris of the women and the flowers and the plants. And I think this is really so beautiful, the colorful.
So Denmark is our trusted partner, and you already said that after 1971, our liberation year, you recognize it as an independent country. So where we are standing now, Bangladesh and Denmark, where the bilateral relations stand right now?
I think we stand on a very, very solid platform of friendship and an equal partnership. In 72, beginning of 72, when Bangladesh was born and was in trouble. It was a difficult time.
Most difficult time.
Everybody knows that. There was a lack of food, there was a lack of many things. You had to build many things from scratch. Yeah. And the Danish government, together with the Danish broadcasting TV, chose to have Bangladesh as a main focus area. So every child in the Danish schools, every person opening the TV on a whole month, every day there was a story on Bangladesh, and all the money that was gathered went directly to children in Bangladesh. And we have had several of these campaigns to support Bangladesh among the Danish people. Yeah. One thing is our relations government to government, but this is a relation
people
between
to people.
And one was the children, one was the fishermen in Bangladesh when they were very harshly hit by cyclone. Then people in Denmark learned about the cyclones and the challenges, and the money went to the fishermen. So I think it's important that we build our relationship on a people to people. But of course, like, as governments, I think we have a wonderful relation. It's both built on our development cooperation. We've been a development partner with Bangladesh also since the beginning. I often have met the first man who represented Denmark here, and he has come back many times, and he's still coming back to Bangladesh. And I think that is also a sign of the friendship. Once you have established it, it's there for a lifetime. So our development engagement is very, very close.
We have a lot of things to hear from you, but we have to take a break. দর্শক, ছোট্ট একটা বিরতি নিচ্ছি, কথা বলবো ডেনমার্কের রাষ্ট্রদূতের সঙ্গে, আমাদের সঙ্গে থাকবেন নিশ্চয়ই। বিরতির পর স্বাগত আরেকবার। কথা বলছিলাম ঢাকায় ডেনমার্কের রাষ্ট্রদূতের সঙ্গে। ম্যাম, ইউ আর এ ডিপ্লোম্যাট অ্যান্ড ইউ আর এ স্টুডেন্ট অফ পলিটিক্যাল সায়েন্স, অ্যান্ড অবভিয়াসলি এ ডিপ্লোম্যাট হ্যাভ টু নো দ্য পলিটিক্স, she have to know the economics, she have to know the geopolitics, everything. So did you get any benefit after studying political science in your career?
Definitely. I was lucky to be able to study both in Denmark, but also in France and United States. Yeah. So I think I learned a lot in terms of substance, but also by studying with people from many, many different countries. So I think the background I got there was extremely important. But I didn't just study. I also took a break from my studies, where I did an internship for the European Commission in France. And I think going out and working and combining your studies with having been in a really professional environment is extremely useful. I also took my backpack and traveled to Central America. I wanted to learn Spanish. I didn't know any Spanish, so I took my backpack and I went, and then I studied Spanish for 3 months.
So from the very beginning you are a frequent traveler?
Yes, that's true.
I want to know about your childhood memories. Can you recall any memories shortly?
It was a very peaceful, happy family life I had. I grew up in a small village.
Like Bangladesh?
It was, in Danish terms, we only find 5.5 million people. So it was a village of 10,000 people. Only. It was next to the sea, surrounded by forest, and I could take my bike and go to school every morning. And it was just very, very easy life. And it was a very harmonious village where people, they knew each other, they were protecting each other. And that I find again here in Bangladesh.
You were very naughty in your childhood, or?
No, I think I was
very calm.
Pretty calm. My little brother, he did all the naughty things. Being able to travel by bike, being outside in nature, whether it was snowing or it was raining, everybody had to take their bike and go to school.
So before your posting in Dhaka, you were in Syria.
Yes.
And now you know the Syria is big headlines in all international televisions and newspapers. What was your experience in Syria?
We spent 3 years in Syria, and it was at a time where it was a lot of international focus was on Syria in a good, positive way. We left 6 months before the trouble started in Syria. So of course, when I see the TV pictures of all these beautiful places in Syria where I traveled with my family, it's very sad. And I know a lot of people who have been harmed and who are in trouble on all sides in the conflict. And I really, really hope that they will be able to find a solution and talk to each other. The dialogue on finding a peaceful way forward is really what Syria needs.
So from last 3 years you are here in Dhaka, and I said you became an expert about Bangladesh, not only in diplomatic affairs but also about the Bangladeshi people. So what do you think? What are the major challenges of Bangladesh right now?
I think there are several challenges, and the goal of Bangladesh to become a strong middle-income country. In order to reach that and reach that in a sustainable way, I think the main challenge that Bangladesh needs to tackle is to think nature and the protection of nature into the growth. Your industry has to grow, and it's been doing that in an amazing way. But when I look at the rivers, I really feel that something needs to be done. It needs to be clean when you take the water out, because people are dependent on that. Energy is a huge challenge, and we're working together with Bangladesh in order to ensure clean, renewable energy sources.
And environment friendly.
Very environment friendly, and we're working on setting up the first ever windmill park in Bangladesh, in Cox's Bazar, where you have really good wind conditions.
Regarding Danish investment here, what's the situation?
We have around 60 Danish companies active in Bangladesh.
60?
60. And it's all from the big companies that I guess you all know. For example, Novo Nordisk, who are here with the diabetes medicine, trying to educate nurses and doctors and try to tackle the challenge of diabetes. When a company comes in and wants to invest in a country, it needs stability, political, economic stability. It needs a legal framework that is consistent, and they know what will happen. And sometimes they need to have experts from the headquarters coming in and working here for a while. So these things are very important, that works, that they have the right framework, and that they are able to do the investments in a foreseeable way. And we're working with the Bangladesh Bank, with the Commerce Minister and other good people to really work on these framework conditions. We have a Nordic Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Together with them, we work very actively to promote these good framework conditions for our business, because it's good for Bangladesh, and it's definitely necessary for Bangladesh to reach the 8% growth target that you have. But it's also good for Denmark. And I feel I'm ambassador for both Bangladesh and Denmark. So I'm happy when I see these partnerships really working out. And now we work from a commercial side to help the fish industry and the food industry to work in a professional way, so you can export and secure safe and good food for the Bangladesh population.
I think Bangladeshi people will remember your contribution in this area. Again, we have to take a break. দর্শক, আবার একটা বিরতি নিচ্ছি, কথা বলবো ঢাকায় ডেনমার্কের রাষ্ট্রদূতের সঙ্গে। আমাদের সঙ্গে থাকবেন নিশ্চয়ই। বিরতির পর স্বাগত আরেকবার। কথা বলছিলাম ঢাকায় ডেনমার্কের রাষ্ট্রদূতের সঙ্গে। ম্যাডাম অ্যাম্বাসাডার, ইউ আর এ উইম্যান, and Bangladesh could be or already Bangladesh is a model of women empowerment in Bangladesh. And we know on 8th March, International Women Day, you are going to have some programs like you need some shadow ambassador. Why this kind of idea? To promote the girls?
I think the idea of the shadow ambassador has a lot of fun elements. First of all, I would like to give the opportunity to a young, dedicated Bangladeshi woman to come and see what is the life of an ambassador, just for one day. What are the challenges, what are the interesting things, and how can we build bridges between Bangladesh and Denmark? And I hope that she will inspire me to do things even better. So that is the idea. And we have received a lot of positive feedback on our Facebook site and from Bangladeshis that I meet, that this is a nice bridge builder, and also to show the openness. As diplomats, we are not a closed circle. We want to be part of your society.
So you are in a country where Prime Minister is a woman, leader of the opposition is a woman, Speaker of the Parliament is a woman, ex-Prime Minister is a woman, and a lot of ministers like Agriculture Minister is women. And you have the chance to work with them, you have the chance to meet them. What's your experience regarding women empowerment here in Bangladesh?
I think it's so important with good role models, and you have a lot here in Bangladesh, as you say. I had the privilege of working, for example, with the Honourable Speaker of Parliament. We were doing a documentary piece of theatre together with strong Bangladeshi businesswomen, human rights activists, international diplomats, and together we were telling the importance of empowerment of women, but also that men need to protect the women. There is a huge challenge of getting rid of the violence against women. We're doing that through our development program. We're doing that as being role models, and we do that by working with also strong business leaders.
You are a big fan of Bangladesh cricket team. Sometimes we have seen your photos in the stadiums. What's your observation regarding Bangladesh cricket and Bangladesh cricket fans especially?
I think that has really been the eye-opener for me coming here to Bangladesh, one of them, because cricket is not big in Denmark, and I've really had the privilege going to the stadium and sitting next to people who have been part of cricket the whole life. And I even met one of your biggest fans, the Tiger Milan, who dressed up, and I went and talked to him. And I think this is a beautiful way of sharing something. All in Bangladesh love cricket, and for me being let into that family has been really fun.
If I ask you, where politically Bangladesh stand right now, what's your evaluation or what's your observation?
Well, I think internationally, Bangladesh has been very recognized for reaching very far in the Millennium Development Goals. We saw that in UN, and I'm telling Denmark and everybody else who wants to listen about these developments. There are also challenges, and we see a scene in the media and in politics where I think every single individual needs to improve the sense of dialogue and transparency and openness every single day. In Denmark, but also definitely in Bangladesh, that is needed.
And Ambassador, if I want to ask, during your 3 years tenure, what role you play to make the friendship better between Bangladesh and Denmark? What is the most effective role you could play?
I think it's by showing in practice how things can be done together. It's by creating new partnerships. I know people in Denmark, I know people in Bangladesh, making possible that they can meet and develop projects together. I think that is extremely, extremely important. So I've given that high priority. We have had 3 ministers visit just in the last 1 year. We had the Minister of Industry going to Denmark, we had the Danish Minister for Trade and Development and the Danish Minister for Labor Issues visiting Bangladesh and taking the political dialogue to the top level where ministers meet, get to know each other, and also have a very honest dialogue about what can we do even better together. That I have given high priority, getting my ministers here so they could really see Bangladesh with their own eyes.
We are in February now, and 21st February, the day was for Bangladeshi people, and now it's International Mother Language Day. And you have the chance to celebrate this day 2 or 3 times here in Bangladesh. So I want to know something from you in Bangla. Do you know a little bit Bangla?
Khub bhalo. No, I don't. I know a little bit of Bangla. But what I really enjoy is seeing it everywhere I walk. It's a piece of art, seeing Bangla written. And you're a very lucky nation to have such a beautiful language. You've been fighting for it. and I think you're very good at keeping it alive. And I wish I could speak even more. But maybe that will be my dream and my ambition to learn even more for the next time I will stay here in Bangladesh.
থ্যাংক ইউ অ্যাম্বাসেডর, থ্যাংক ইউ ফর ইউর প্রেশিয়াস টাইম।
Very welcome.
দর্শক, শেষ করতে হচ্ছে আজ। পরবর্তী পর্বে কথা হবে অন্য কোনো অতিথির সঙ্গে। সে পর্যন্ত ভালো থাকবেন সবাই।